Ladies and gentlemen, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, excellencies, I have the honor to read the following joint statement on the safety and security of peacekeepers on behalf of Algeria, Armenia, Australia, Austria, Bahrain, Bangladesh, Belgium, Brazil, Brunei Darussalam, Cambodia, People's Republic of China, Colombia, Croatia, Cyprus, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Denmark, Egypt, El Salvador, Estonia, Finland, France, Germany, Ghana, Greece, Guatemala, Hungary, Indonesia, Ireland, Italy, Jordan, Latvia, Liberia, Luxembourg, Malaysia, Malta, Moldova, Mongolia, Morocco, Nepal, the Netherlands, North Macedonia, Pakistan, Panama, the Philippines, Poland, Portugal, Qatar, Republic of Korea, Romania, Russian Federation, Sierra Leone, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain, Sri Lanka, Sweden, Tanzania, Thailand, Timor-Leste, Turkey, United Kingdom, Uruguay, Zambia, and the European Union. And the list is, as of now, we have indication that more countries will be joining this statement. We, the troop contributing countries to the UN Interim Force in Lebanon, or UNIFIL, joined by several other member states and the European Union, express deep concern over the escalation of tension in Lebanon since 2 March 2026 and its impact on the safety and security of peacekeepers. We condemn in the strongest terms the persistent attacks against UNIFIL, including the latest grave attacks which cost the lives of 3 Indonesian peacekeepers and injured several other peacekeepers from France, Ghana, Indonesia, Nepal, and Poland. We also firmly condemn the unacceptable aggressive behavior towards UNIFIL personnel and leadership recently observed. We recall that peacekeepers must never be the target of attack, and that attacks on them are prohibited while they enjoy protection under international law and relevant UN Security Council resolutions and may constitute a war crime. Ladies and gentlemen, excellencies, I have the honor.
Man, when I tell you that all these nations are mad, these nations are mad. All right. Matter of fact, that reminds me of the video production I did a while back, which I got to repost that, but I'm gonna play the first part of it. Give me 1 second.
Throughout the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. God not cut off in our iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance.
Hold on, let me open this up.
Throughout the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. God not cut off in our iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Babylon hath been golden company of time, that they will walk drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Proclaim this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, but all the men of war draw near, let them come up, make your passions into swords, and your burning hooks into spears. That the weak say, I am strong. The Americans must be made to suffer.
Hold on, let me actually take it off. It'll be better if you hear it from here.
The Americans must be made to suffer. We must humiliate them.
You do not go far enough, General Amin. We must rip their entrails out and drag them from here to Damascus until they include us in the peace process.
No, that is nonsense. The solution is not old enough for Libya. I say, wipe out Washington and New York.
What? Spoiled 3 years of good public relations? The Americans believing I am a nice guy. Some of their bones, I am more popular than their president.
Gentlemen, this is getting us nowhere. If we do nothing else this week, we must conceive at least one terrorist act that will show all the world that the United States, the great state, is but a paper tiger, a weak nation, of weak people, a people ripe for destruction, cowards no longer willing to fight.
This is Obadiah.
All right.
7.
So going back to the title, all right, therefore the nations are mad. All right, and this is, let's grab this. This is Jeremiah 51 and 7, and it reads, Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. Okay. And what you just seen in the beginning, right, with the Instagram video, it was a legit spokesperson telling, I forgot who he was representing, but he was basically representing all the nations that he was naming, saying how they are fed up with basically America and Israel's bullshit, man. You see, and that's why these two nations is spiritual, so spiritual that they are fed up with both of those nations, because those are the two nations, according to Bible prophecy, that's going to be annihilated, okay, according to the Bible, all right, are going to be annihilated with thermonuclear missiles. Okay. Israel, according to Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. All right. And America also, according to Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. All right. According to Jeremiah, the 51st chapter. All right. All you're seeing right now is just war drums. Let's grab that real quick. This is Jeremiah 50 and where's that at? 22. A sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. The Lord Yahweh has opened his armory and has brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans, man. It says, come up against her from the utmost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left. And see, this is what eventually is going to happen to America, man. America going to be obliterated, man. They're going to be, hey, man, they're going to be burned and fire from New York, all right, to California. And it's going to come by the way of all these nations standing up against her, all right, because these nations are mad. See, America has taken the peace, as it tells you in Revelations, all right, 6 and 4. It says, and there went out another horse that was red, all right, and that represents Esau, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, you see, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. So he always taking peace from the earth. He's always waging war on all these different nations, you see, and it has come to the point where America is just through, all right. All these nations are fed up with it. All these nations are pissed off. All right. And what a coincidence that is right around the 250-year mark of them ruling. You see? So the Lord is showing you how he's going to drop this empire to naught, man. Showing you the collapse. All right. First giving you the warnings of how all these nations are mad. All right. And then eventually bringing the physical collapse of Babylon the Great, right? This is Isaiah 54. I mean, Salakia 54. This is 47. Isaiah 47 and 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind mill, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. As for our Redeemer, the Lord Yahweh of hosts is his name, and the Holy One of Israel. You see? So what's happening is that America's being exposed to who they truly are, man. All right? Now, all right, as the scriptures say, Esau, Jeremiah 49 and 10, I had made Esau bare that he can no longer hide himself. So the Lord, all right, is revealing unto you who is the son of perdition, all right, who's the man of sin, who's the devil that the Bible speaks of, who's the Edomites, who is in the true power seat, all right, in these last days, all right, starting with these top banking families, man. Okay, so the Lord is exposing their shame, and this is why the nations are fed up with it. They're realizing what these devils is truly about, you know. And they're going to beat their doom too, all these other nations, because they had their hands in the cookie jar when it came to our slavery, all right? But best believe that the Lord is going to use all these nations, all right, to set themselves in array against her in battle, man. Okay? All these nations are going to turn against America, including their allies. All right. As a matter of fact, let me jump into that real quick. Obadiah 1 and 7. And it reads, all that, it says 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They have eat the bread, thy bread. So like they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is no understanding in him. You see? Let's read that in NLT. It says, all your allies will turn against you. They will help to chase you from your land. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. And that's why I played that second part, that second video, which was a video production I did like a couple months back. All right, because that was a heavy part that I got from this one movie. I ain't even gonna say the name because I ain't trying to get smacked. All right, but it was a heavy movie. It wasn't even it's actually a funny ass movie. It's an old school movie. All right, but that part that they used in there itself was a heavy and spiritual message. And it really has nothing to do with the whole fucking movie. They just randomly threw that shit in there being funny because the guy was a cop in the movie. He was a funny cop. If you know, the cop's name was Frank Driven. I'm not gonna say the name of the movie and none of that, so I don't get striked. But the guy was Frank Driven. All right. If you're an old school head, you know exactly what movie I'm talking about, and it was the second one, right? So it was just spiritual. They even said that, man. It was showing all the nations on the round table plotting against America of what they were going to do against America. And it goes hand in hand with Obadiah 1 and 7. All your allies will turn against you. They will help to chase you from your land. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. Your trusted friends will set traps for you and you won't even know about them. All right. And that's what you're seeing, man. All right. As a matter of fact, let's grab this real quick. And what was I just thinking about? Treacherously. This is Isaiah 33 and 1. It says, woe to thee that spoilest, and thou was not spoiled, and dealt treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled, and when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. See, and that's heavy because eventually, see, all Esau gonna try to give in. America gonna try to give in because they're gonna realize that the odds is against them. But just when they're about to give in, that's when they're gonna be dealt with treacherously. The same manner that they were treating everybody else with is the same manner that the Lord gonna put the spirit of all these nations to come against America and destroy it, man. You see? Let's grab this. This is oh man. I think it's in Revelations. Hold on real quick. That destroyed the earth, KJV. Oh, 11. That's
according to
what it was.
Revelation. God
This is 11, Revelations 11 and 18, and it reads, hold on, it's loading up, Slakia. Actually, let me just go to it. Revelations 11 and 18, and it reads, and the nations were angry All right. Matter of fact, let's take it from 17. It says, yeah, no, let's take it from 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou should give reward unto the servants unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. All right. And who's the ones that have destroyed the earth? Starting with Esau, Edom, man. Starting with these top banking families, man. All right. And then going into America. All right. Because America, everything America touches, everywhere that America sets foot on, all right, they destroy it. You see? So they're going to have to be destroyed. As a matter of fact, it tells you that in Numbers, all right, which that's talking about Esau. All right, but remember, Esau's the one that's ruling right now. This is Numbers 33 and 35. Hold on, Salakia. I mean 35 and 33, Salakia. This is 35 and 33, and it reads, So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. You see? So he has to be taken out of the way in order for this place to be cleansed. You see? And that's why the Lord has a sacrifice in Basra. Okay? America gonna be that great altar. Okay? The fire is gonna be, for that altar is going to be the thermonuclear missiles, and the people are going to be the sacrifice, right? That's Isaiah 34th chapter. And let's grab it from this is 4:5. It says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. The sword of the Lord Yahweh is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with blood of lambs and goats, and with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord Yahweh has a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. You see? So it's being referred to, all right, as an actual sacrifice, man. That's why it says the sword of the Lord Yahweh is filled with blood, and is made with fat, and made with fat with fatness, right? The blood of lambs and the blood of goats, all right? So it's symbolically being used as a sacrifice, man. All right, so let's go back to, real quick, Isaiah 47 and 5. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the lady of kingdoms. I was wroth with my people, I have polluted mine inheritance, and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. All right, and because they have showed no mercy upon our people, and also not showing mercy to people around the world. All right, because again, Esau just go to these other nations too and take their shit. All right, take their lands. All right, remember, he has the blessing of the sword and the fatness of the earth. So those two go hand in hand. All right, this is why you see Esau in every country somehow, some way. All right, he sets foot there and he has a piece of that land. All right, he has pieces of the natural resources, all of that. You see, because he has the blessing of the sword, the power to kill with his military might. All right, and then he has the fatness of the earth, so he pretty much has his hands everywhere in the earth. All right, it says, and thou hast said, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thine heart, neither did remember the latter end of it. Yeah, you know, this devil's thought, their inward thoughts is that their houses shall continue forever, thinking that there is no consequence for the things that they have done, that they're just gonna rule, be powerful and continue to be powerful. Nah, man, all kingdoms come to an end, all empires fall at one point. You see, And at the end of the day, the Lord is setting up one that is profitable, all right, which is Yahweh Shai, okay? That's why there's going to be a new heavens, a new earth where there dwelleth in righteousness, all right? Because any of these damn kings, any of these damn nations that get put in power, none of them going to do anything righteously with their power, man. They're going to all be wicked. They're going to all try to, you know, exceed the power limit that they're given, you know? Pretty much all these people want to rule the world, but none of them want to rule it in righteousness. This is why we need Yahweh Shai, you see? So it says, and thou said, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou did not lay these things to thine heart, neither did remember the latter end of it. Meaning what? They didn't think nothing about their consequences, man. It says, therefore, hear now this, thou that are given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and the law and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. You see? So the Lord has, you know, prophesied that these things will come to an end, right? As a matter of fact, when you go into 2nd Ezra's, the 9th chapter, verse 5, it says, for like as all that is made in the world has a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, you see? So if there's a beginning of something, it has to have an end, you see? So Esau had his beginning, right? But now he has to come to his end. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, you see? And this is going to be the true beginning of Jacob, all right, in righteousness. And our end is going to end with righteousness. That's the beauty of it. Ultimately, there is no end when we're put in righteousness, when Yahweh Shai is put in righteousness, because we're going to live forever, you see? So we're going to live the rest of our days in true peace, all right? Because we're the Lord's chosen people, because we're that chosen, you know, generation, that royal priesthood, all right? So it says, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. Yeah. And see, this is what the Lord's doing. He's showing you the end of this rulership, the end of this eon, this era. All right. Through what? Through effects and signs. There's cause and effect. Right? For the cause of these things that this devil has done, here comes the effect. Here comes the consequences to it. All right. And the Lord is giving you the signs, the warnings over and over that this place is going to be destroyed, that this place has to be destroyed, man, for its wickedness, because wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth. All right. Their sins have reached onto the heavens. So the Lord wants to destroy this place, man. Right. Matter of fact, let's grab Revelation 17. And I'm going to start closing out. This is Revelation 17 and 16. And it reads, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. See, that's the end game of America. Okay. The whore is a representation of America. She's the one that sits, all right, on them 7 heads, all right? The 10 horns goes into the EU, you see? So she's the one that's ruling, right? It says, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For Yahweh has put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. You see? So this is all the will of the Heavenly Father, man. All right. Babylon's about to meet their fall. Right. Let's grab Revelations 18 and 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen. Is fallen, is become the habitation of devils. And this is the future for Babylon. America, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Okay. And what happens when you drink too much, man? When you that's crazy, because when you actually drink too much, you become angry, you become mad. All right. That's why you're supposed to be careful. All right. When you drink, because wine is a mocker, strong drink. All right. Is no good for you. All right. Tells you to drink in moderation. But because these nations have drunk over and over the wine of Babylon, Babylon the Great, the philosophies, the ways, the image, you see, they done make their ass drunk as hell to the point where they become a mean old drunk. You see, so now the nations, every single one of them are pissed off. All right, realizing that this damn devil has made them drunk. Matter of fact, it tells you, woe to him that give neighbor his drink. KJV. We'll put that. Is that how you say it? Yeah. This is Habakkuk 2:15. And it reads, woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him, and maketh him drunk also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. You see? So these devils have forced, all right, their way on them. They have forced their image on the whole entire world, making the nations even more mad because of that because of that reason. You see? Matter of fact, what's it saying here? Yeah, it says, thou art filled with shame for glory, drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. You see? And ultimately, right, going back to when you go up a little bit, right, it says, 5, it says, yet also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death. You see? So these devils have always pushed that vibration of, you know, putting countries in there in a hell state of mind, which hell is a what? Is a condition. You know, hell is what we live on here on earth with, man. That condition of hell. So they have put that condition upon all these other nations. They damn for sure have put that condition amongst our people. All right. And these other nations have helped. That's why eventually the Lord allowed Esau to put hell on their ass also. Okay. But now they over it. Now they fed up with it. Right. It says, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations. You see, he gathereth unto him all nations. All right. Through philosophy, through the image, and ultimately it's about to be through the MOTB, the RFID. Okay. It says, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against them, and a taunting proverb against them, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that laddeth himself with thick clay, going into all this debt. You know, America owes so much fucking money, it's not even funny, man. And what they do is that they'll go and steal resources from another country to pay off their debt through the resources they steal, through the resources they have. You see, they're not going to actually physically pay you. Okay. But they'll find ways to make it right. So basically what they're just doing is pretty much, how's the word I want to say without saying it the way I want to say it, screwing, okay, screwing everybody that comes down their path, you know, literally, and promising things that they can't keep, you know. So eventually they end up, you know, screwing everybody and then screwing themselves, man, because what happens is when you are that type of person that, you know, can't even pay back, you know, you're always trying to find a way to get out of it, wiggle your way out of it, you know, people become pissed off with you. People don't like you, man. And that's what has happened with America, man. They have done so much wickedness, so much extra shit that now all these nations are just like, bro, we're done with them. We can't deal with them no more. And because they're bringing a global collapse upon the world, all right, that's even more of a reason why these nations don't want to deal with America no more. And they're going to come up against it, you know, conspiring against America, saying, you know what, it's either us or them. We might as well take them all out the way, even though this is our cash cow. This is the money maker to the world. This is how we all become rich. I'd rather take them out than for us to destroy our own countries, you see? And that's what's happening right now, man. All right, so let's go back to Revelations 18:3. For all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues. And what's the plague that's going to be given to America? Zechariah 14:12. And it reads, for this is the plague wherewith the Lord Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. All right. And that goes into the thermonuclear missiles, you know, pretty much disintegrating these people, man, lighting them up. That's the plague that's going to come to America. Just like Sodom and Gomorrah was overthrown, in the same manner as how Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to destroy and overthrow America. Okay. So it can never be inhabited again. Right. So this is Revelation 18:5. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh has remembered her evil deeds, her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. And the cup which she has filled, fill to her double. How much she has glorified herself and lived deliciously. And that's what she does through pride. All right. The pride of thine heart has deceived thee, as the scriptures say. She has glorified herself. She exalted herself. You see, saying, I am God and no one else beside me. Right. I will be like the Most High. That's her mentality. It says, so much torment and sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, who judgeth her. You see, this place is going to be done for in 1 hour, man. Okay, let's grab 16 and 17 and I'll end it there. It says, and saying, alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, for in 1 hour so great riches come to naught, and every ship and all the company in ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? You see, eventually all these money-making countries is going to witness the fall of Babylon the Great. All right. Matter of fact, let me grab this. This is popping up in my head. This is Jeremiah 51 and 1 second, hold on. Is it a 51 or 50? Might be a 50. Yeah, I think it's a 50. Salakia, hold on. Oh yeah, this is it right here. This is 50 and 9. Let me make sure. Hold on. That's the one. Yeah, this is 9, and I'm gonna jump down. This is 9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken, their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man, none shall return in vain. And Chaldea, saith the Lord Yahweh. You see? It says, because you were glad, because you rejoice, O you destroyers of mine heritage, because you are grown fat as the heifer at grass and bellow as bulls, your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost part, so like behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. Because of the Lord, of the wrath of the Lord Yahweh, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at her plagues. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she has sinned against the Lord Yahweh. Shout against her round about, she has given her hand, her foundations are fallen, her walls are thrown down, for it is the vengeance of the Lord Yahweh. Take vengeance upon her as she has done due unto her. You see, that's going to be the end game, man. All right, because of the wickedness that she has brought upon this whole entire earth, because all the things that came in her past, she's destroyed. All right, the Lord is going to destroy Babylon the Great. All right, as a great recompense, man. You see, you reap what you sow. You see, you wanted to rule. All right, you wanted to destroy. All right, well, your rulership has to come to an end, and you have to be destroyed and taken out the way. Okay. And that's when the Lord is going to establish righteousness upon this earth as soon as Babylon the Great is being taken out. Has to be taken out, man. This place is just too damn wicked. All right. So I'm going to leave it there through the Spirit, Lord willing that you were edified. So with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Akwat that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazat, Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom. Keep fighting the good fight of faith, enduring as good soldiers of Yahweh Shai. Stay prayed up. Continue to throw them prayers that Babylon the Great be destroyed with great destruction and a speedy riddance. All right, a Bible ball soon, real soon. Shalom. Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Barakatah.